Hi, how are you going? Now, if you know me well, you'd know that I'm very much into processes. So this one's a little bit meta, but I thought I'd just share a bit about my content marketing process. So I'm creating content about content. That's why it's meta. But this morning I've actually been just updating the process a little bit, tweaking it, and I've been working on this new board on Monday.com specifically for my content marketing, whereas previously I just had tasks in another board, and now I've moved it onto its own board. So I thought I'd just share a little bit about what I've been working on. Basically, the way this works is as I create something, it gets listed under here. And then, see, I work with an assistant who helps me distribute all of these things. So this helps us both keep track of where we're up to. So once I've created it on here, I would decide then where it was going to go. So I've got YouTube on there, I've got blog, there's Facebook and LinkedIn and emails and things. And it doesn't necessarily go, each thing doesn't necessarily go on everything because, I'm usually blogging about analytics, and sometimes I'll go into more technical detail. Now, something I've gone into technical detail about doesn't need to be sent to everybody on my email list because a number of you won't be interested in the technical side of it. So I'll save that up for things that you would either click on the blog or in kind of backlog emails, where if you've been subscribed for a while, then you might get some of those more technical ones. But basically what happens here is in Monday.com, you can choose statuses for things. So once I've created a piece of content, I can change the status around. So it's quite nifty. Basically, I can say that something is required, and then my assistant can come in here and go, oh, this is required, but it hasn't been done yet. And then she can chase that up. And then once it's done, she can mark that as yes. So she can basically go along. And the goal is to get everything to either grey for not applicable or green for yes. You can see there's a whole bunch here of images that haven't been added to the blog post yet. And I've got a few things that I've got listed as paused because it's not quite relevant at the moment. But yeah, basically that's that process. And all of these, because I'm such a process-driven person, I've used Sweet Process. Let me just share another screen. I use Sweet Process for identifying what tasks there are in a given process. And so I have individual, in Sweet Process, you have a process, which is like the top level, and then you have individual procedures that come off that. And that way I can get help with things without worrying that it's not going to be done the way that I would like it to be done. So actually, I had a team member of mine the other day. He was saying, I said, oh, sorry to be bossy, blah, blah, blah. I asked him to do something. He goes, you're not very bossy, Petra. And I said, oh, I guess I am in a way, but I create all these nice procedures for you to follow so that you'll do as I say, but without me having to get grumpy. And he said, well, actually, apparently he'd worked for 7 or 8 different agencies, and I was the only one that had been really organised with these procedures. So it was nice to know. But basically, for all of the different tasks that we've got an individual procedure for following through with each of those. And I mean, there's a little bit of grey area where something will need to be done differently, but generally it's done the same. Like 90% of the time it's done exactly the same every time. So we just follow the process and make sure that it gets delivered properly. There's a few blanks in here. I haven't quite finished. I actually found that the software I'm using SmarterQ for distributing content, and I actually found it wasn't working that nicely with LinkedIn. Sometimes it would post correctly, and then other times it would just leave like a bit.ly link. And then I logged into LinkedIn, and like I saw all these posts that I'd posted, and it was just like bit.ly, and you couldn't see the post. So I was a bit embarrassed about that. So I've temporarily paused it from LinkedIn, and I'm going to look into how to probably post LinkedIn natively, and then maybe I can use SmarterQueue to like reshare some of them, something like that, but it hasn't quite been worked out yet. But yeah, just wanted to show you, because I've been working on this morning, and wanted to share a little bit about how I work. So this is the content distribution process, but all of the analytics and Google Ads and all of the services we're delivering, they have similar planning and systems behind everything. So generally, if you are working with us, I don't like any dramas, or I don't like putting out fires. So if you work with us, it should be a pretty methodical and generally easy process. Alrighty. Well, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and speak with you again soon.